Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 1960, the year I was born. Today we're talking about, actually day 1960 of What's She Up To Now. SHE, my initials, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom. Talking about, I create 2 pieces of content every day. First is an annual challenge. I do an annual challenge, been doing them for decades. Just started doing them online and sharing them with other people in about 2018. It's only been a few years, but this year's challenge is the Get Your Goals Annual Challenge. We're doing one thing every day to get what we want. And what we're covering starting yesterday and for the next 4 days is something called the SOAP framework. The SOAP framework is a framework. It's just a how to get what you want process, a 4-step process that I've been sharing since the pandemic. Since 2020, every other month I did a 30+ day challenge, and we covered this framework as well as other topics that helped us keep moving forward to get going. It was the Get Up and Go challenge for 2020 and 2021 to keep moving through challenging, crazy times that we had no control and take back some of the control and make sure you were making choices and decisions and doing things and taking actions that would move us the direction we wanted to go, despite what craziness was happening in the world and how little or much control we thought we had over our lives. So today we're talking about the S in the SOAP framework, which stands for Story or Situation, and we identify both our current story, what's going on right now, what results are we seeing in our financial goal area, because we're focusing on financial goals for the month of June. And the goal I'm working on is to add an additional income stream to my life, because there's some things that I want and some people I want to help. In order to do that, instead of taking from what I've already created, I make myself create something new in order to fund that particular desire or project. So that's the goal I'm working on through the SOAP framework. And so what's my current story? Well, I don't have that money yet, but I want to do this thing. So how am I going to get the money and the resources to do that thing? Our idiom for today is one I personally love, and it's cut to the chase. It means get to the point. Tell me the most interesting and important parts of what you're trying to communicate to me right now. Now, I am a very direct communicator. I often believed in the past that I was too direct and too straight to the point for a lot of people, but that I learned is my personality type. It's my personality style. It's how I communicate. And I need to temper that when I'm working with different types of people. And I learned that through, the Myers-Briggs, through the other personality discs analysis, things like that. I learned that it's my responsibility to make sure that my message is being broadcast or shared with people in the way that's best for them to hear. So I like this idiom. It comes from the motion picture industry, where I think of movie trailers nowadays, but back in the day, they would often cut to different parts of the films to keep people interested, to keep the audience enjoying the film, because different action scenes, just like they are today, were mixed with more background dialogue parts of the story in order to tell the story. But sometimes people would lose interest if it was too long and too boring. So that's true of everything, right? We lose interest if a message or something doesn't speak to us. We lose interest in films that don't follow. And actually, there's been a lot of work done in this area about stories and storytelling and the patterns that work best in different stories for people to be interested and stay interested. And they've actually broken it down to formulas, and I've experienced some of those things. I don't do that. I don't write my stories or share information based on that, because I think it's more of a marketability sales type thing, and I guess I probably should do it, but I don't. Anyway, so that's what we talked about today. Cut to the chase. Love to know your experience or what you think about this particular idiom. I know I was actually married to someone that was very indirect and very non-direct communicator. It was, here's all the background and here's how I think about it, here's how I feel about it. Please don't interrupt me as I tell you my story, because if you do, wherever I am in the story, I'm going to go back to the beginning and start the same thing over and over and over again. And being a very direct communicator, that drove me bonkers. It just was really frustrating for me. Anyway, we all interact with people that are of a different personality type than us, and it's up to us, depending on the relationship, depending on the situation, to decide and behave in ways that are appropriate for the situation. All right, if I can help you in any way, ask. Otherwise, have a fantastic day, and I will be with you tomorrow just to let you know what I'm working on, what's working, what's not working, the content that I'm creating. And if you want any more information about that, just ask. Have a great day, and I'll be with you tomorrow. Bye.